Is there a limit to how far a politician will go to satisfy their base, even if it defies logic and reality? When a candidate for the United States Senate starts suggesting that complex, multi-billion-dollar missile defense systems should be handed out like campaign pamphlets, it's time to stop and ask, exactly who are they representing, and are they qualified to sit in the upper chamber of Congress? Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in U.S. politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and ensures you get the real breakdown of what's happening in Washington before the rest of the media catches up. The controversy centers on Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow, a rising star in the Democratic Party who is currently locked in a brutal three-way primary fight to represent the Great Lakes state in the U.S. Senate. During a recent interview with pro-Palestinian podcasters Matt Bernstein and Emma Vigeland, McMorrow found herself being grilled on the sensitive issue of Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system. Now, we all know the Iron Dome is a sophisticated defensive tool designed to intercept rockets fired at Israeli civilians. But when the hosts pressed her on this, McMorrow went in a direction that few expected. She voiced open support for the idea of bringing similar defensive systems to the Palestinians and, by extension, the people of Lebanon. When asked specifically about this, she said, "I don't think anybody should live in fear of being bombed or killed," adding, "I would look at how do we support defensive systems for Palestinians. How would we support defensive systems for Lebanese?" The comment immediately raised eyebrows. When the podcasters, seemingly mocking the logistics of such an idea, pushed further, McMorrow doubled down. She claimed she would love to reach a place where such weapons are not needed, period, for anybody. But when Fox News Digital followed up with her office to ask if this would include Palestinians in Hamas-controlled Gaza, her spokesperson offered a blunt, one-word response: no. It's an interesting pivot, isn't it? She wants to open the conversation about defensive infrastructure for the region, but clearly, her team recognized the political suicide of suggesting that such technology be provided to territories controlled by designated terror groups. Furthermore, throughout the entire conversation, McMorrow notably omitted any mention of Hezbollah, the Iranian-backed militant group that has been raining rockets down on northern Israel for months. She also didn't push back when her hosts railed against what they called Zionist indoctrination or when they labeled Israel an apartheid state. This isn't just a minor slip-up, it speaks to the deeper, tectonic shifts occurring within the Democratic Party. McMorrow is trying to thread a needle in a state with significant Jewish, Muslim, and Arab populations. She is positioning herself as a bridge candidate, warning her own party that if they tear themselves apart over the Israel-Palestine issue, they'll hand the Senate seat to the presumptive GOP nominee, Mike Rogers. She even went as far as saying she would have supported Bernie Sanders' failed resolution to block certain weapons sales to Israel, further aligning herself with the far-left wing of her party. But here is the analysis: this is a high-risk, high-reward strategy. By trying to appease the anti-establishment, pro-Palestinian base, she risks alienating the moderate, pro-Israel wing of the Democratic Party group that has traditionally been a bedrock of the coalition. In a state like Michigan, where every single vote counts, alienating the moderate center to satisfy the activists could be the exact thing that sinks her chances in the general election. Is this a genuine policy shift, or is it a calculated attempt to avoid being outflanked by her far-left rivals, like the Sanders-backed Abdul El-Sayed? Or is she simply losing her grasp on the political realities of the Middle East? Her attempt to bridge the divide might end up being the very thing that exposes the cracks in her candidacy. So what do you think about this? Is Mallory McMorrow being honest about her vision, or is this just standard, desperate primary season pandering? Do you think a U.S. Senator should be suggesting the proliferation of advanced missile defense systems in active conflict zones? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to hear your take on whether this strategy will help her or hurt her in the long run. The reality is that voters are watching, and they are tired of vague answers to the most serious questions of our time. We will be tracking this race closely as the primary heats up. Thank you for tuning in, and stay sharp. The political landscape is shifting faster than ever.